Okay, here's stream. Wait, I need the. So, finally, the final part of the story. I'm still surprised that Long Shiny actually stabbed her sister with the spear. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting her to actually do it. Also, this stream, this is the final part of the story, which means that today's plan is to stream it until the story is done. Also, maybe I'll have to rush things a little bit, so I might end up not having too much commentary. Because at 6 p.m. I'm going to have a meeting with my professor to discuss a few things about the research that I'm doing. So I need to hurry. But I think I have time. Like, right now it's 2 p.m. so unless the last 3 stages here are like 4 hours long, it will take me 4 hours to go through. It shouldn't be a problem. Otherwise, I'm really screwed, but I think I will not need to worry too much about it. Okay, enough stalling. EA 7. One who burns the lamp. As you wish, Eblana. You're back to the events of the past, huh? How far is Counting Hillock? Far? My sister must have known. Only the elocutionist and his band of idiots would consider this plan flawless. Then, why are you still following me? Oh, believe me, if it were up to me, I would be taking a nap in camp right now. Why didn't my sister stop me? I don't know. Maybe she has high hopes for you. No, that's not possible. She never looked at me like that. When I agreed to be her shadow, she... Please, Harmony, tell me. I don't want to do this. That you don't want to go to County Hillock? And if she's in a good mood, could you also tell her that from now on I will... No, never mind. Fine, can't hurt to pass it along, I suppose. Although it's not easy avoiding the elocutionist's eyes and ears. Thank you. I should go. Before she gets bored. I know that Love Shiny has like at least some form of affection for her sister, but like from what I can see from her perspective, it does seem like it makes me feel like her. I always got the impression that Eblana was abusive in some sense, in some way, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe Love Shiny is just scared of her. Harmony did not return until after they arrived at County Hillock. She knew what that meant. That night, when cannons roared and crystals bloomed, she lay on the streets of county hillock, blood draining from her abdomen. She had not been afraid of them. Instead, she felt relief that she would die like any other person. But then she saw those purple flames on a tower not too far away. That was when she felt afraid. Yeah, it could be that perhaps her sister's not necessarily abusive, she's just... Love Shine is just really scared of her. More specifically, her flames. Afraid that the flames would overlook her and turn her into another puppet like those on the street. Afraid that the flames would find her and bring her back, forcing her to remain a shadow. She gazed into the fire, trying to find some hint of her future in it, but saw nothing but apathy. That which she feared most had finally happened. The dead dragon lies on the ground. Behind the living dragon, the wayward wake woman suddenly understands it all. She deceived you. No, she didn't deceive anyone. She set this all up, knowing you would never allow the entire city to die with her. She baited you into piercing her vessel, freeing her from the bonds and allowing purple fire to spread, burning us all to ashes on the eve of Samhain. Why would she take such a risk for a festival that she never cared about? I am affected by the purple flames too, and feel the flames of death burning my chest, colder than ever. So cold. I'm growing number by the minute. It doesn't matter whether she's seeking dominion over all of Terra, or if she's simply gone mad and wants the city to die with her. It's neither. Tara already belongs to her, and she was very much lucid. She... Nemus, is her body still there? I will go check. The wayward wake woman's brow is furrowed. Perhaps she has never felt such malice in all her life, and, as such, has never harbored such resolve. Her body is... The sound of burning draws out her answer. Whatever she's trying to do, Nasa Oirisi is not fully gone. The fire returning ceremony can still go on. It must go on. I am well aware. I will inform the citizens that the wicked red dragon they worshipped is dead. What about Bridget? I have asked her to leave the city and find the wake man. And how are you going to tell people that Eblana is dead? With a coffin. That seems appropriate. Even coffins are in short supply, but she's not some nameless nobody who deserves one. Is something wrong? No. I am simply realizing how ugly the path she walked is. A path that even now waves at me invitingly. And it's an invitation I have no choice but to accept. Go, Nemus. I will buy you some time. You mean from the dark mist? Yes. If it wants to be a part of the Samhain festivities, I will keep it at bay. I can hardly wait to ask the mist how to return the red dragon's flame to darkness. What the fuck happened with the body though? Because of those stupid flames making more noise than Nemo's words, I don't know what the fuck is. Sound of burning draws her answer. Is the body not there anymore then? Or is just a massive ball of flames or something like that? I can hardly wait to ask the mist how to return the red dragon's flame to darkness. How do you feel about that line? Now, the ending of the dragon and her reflection is clear enough. The rider stands up with a start. Who are you? And what do you want? All I want is to finish the story that you would not. Didn't you say I was the type who liked to piece together the truth? We have gotten so very close to it. This is enough. I'm leaving. If you won't tell the ending yourself, I suppose it falls on me. Suddenly, someone opened their eyes, causing a surprised reflection to let go of her hands. The dragon fell into the fire burning bright, and the reflection hid back in the mirror. When the fire subsided, the dragon was gone, and the people were anxious, for they could not find their dragon. The reflection wanted to explain, find a way to bring the dragon back. Without the dragon, though, she could no longer leave the mirror. What do you think? I've been glancing over there at the newspapers, but not everything reported is a fact. The writer looks towards the door. He tries to imagine himself running out of the tavern, but it is such a preposterous proposition that he almost laughs out loud. If not everything reported is a fact, then he finally knows who this woman is and why she is here. He also knows that there is no escape. But there is something else he realizes. Perhaps this is his chance to truly find the ending he had hoped for. No matter who she is, as long as the story continues, they are equals. He feels his spirit return. Okay, I don't care who you are or why you're here, but that's no way to tell a story. You haven't given it an ending. All you did was extend an ending, endless story. But I have to know, did you really see a red dragon kill another? In the same sense that you saw the hero drag a giant metal skeleton to the square. Creative liberty, nothing more. Then take responsibility for it. So the dragon in the mirror accidentally caused her other self to burn to death in the fire? What's next? What did the people do? What about the dragon in the mirror? What about you? Don't you have any ideas of your own? For the first time in a long while, the writer takes out a fountain pen from his pocket, then grabs one of the playing cards on the table. He tries to write something, but the tip of the pen has dried out from disuse. I need time. But if it can be connected, then maybe connected? Let me guess. You're talking about the last story that you published? The writer's pen scratches hard against the card. Finally, some ink oozes out of the tip. He's suddenly reminded of the words of Seamus Williams. May death connect us with all legends. Seamus Williams is dead, but he himself might, if he may be so impertinent, have a chance to be connected with the legend he wrote. He tries to scribble the poem on the card, but the pen leaves only broken, illegible ink trails. Just maybe. Yes? The writer sits back on the chair. His back even straighter than before. He suddenly feels an urge, the same one he felt after hearing a Seamus Williams poem for the first time. The same feeling that had taken him down this wretched path, which seizes his chest and makes him want to sing, to yell, to create. You may have indeed solved a problem for me. As I said, what I have seen, what I believe, and what I have said all contradict one another. Thanks to you, though, they are finally beginning to converge. How lovely for you. Now, are you ready to start telling the third story? Of course. Of course. But I will need your help. You will need to pick up the narrative whenever I get stuck. This is my story, but it's also yours. It has always been yours. With pleasure. The writer's breathing is rapid, his face red, his fountain pen still refuses to write, so he throws it on the table. Yes, of course. Has he not seen enough of these things already? So what? He is a writer. He will soon find the ending of his story. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, alright. This is it. The final act of this. Now about this writer, that conversation led me thinking, I wonder if this writer person is alive or not. I mean, with so many people being somewhat resurrected from the dead like this because of Eblena's power, it makes me question if the people that I'm seeing are indeed alive or not, including the writer himself. Alright, EA7 after.
There was a mother who once ruled a kingdom until her crown and her family were taken by her foes. The mother had a powerful daughter who then made a pact with the dark mist in the dark woods to drive out their foes. the daughter reclaimed the kingdom for her mother, returning the promised peace to the Dark Mist. The mother was to host a grand coronation for her daughter, but the daughter died mysteriously right before the event. Tremendous woe and then rage engulfed the mother. Her zeal to avenge her daughter was so fierce that the entire kingdom was scorched by her vengeful fire, until that fury disturbed the Dark Mist, who had just returned to its resting peace. The Dark Mist demanded that the mother cease, or she would be dragged into the darkness. But in her grief, the mother remained convinced that the Dark Mist was the one who had taken her daughter. A desperate battle was then inevitable. The mother determined to risk her life.
So we finally have some mention about the Dark Mist and all of this, which have been almost be left without much mention or explanation for it. There's a mother who once ruled a kingdom till her crown and her family were taken by her foes. A powerful daughter who then made a pact with the Dark Mist in the Dark Woods to drive out their foes. The daughter reclaimed the kingdom for her mother, returning the promised peace to the Dark Mist. How does this connect with the story? Is the daughter a Bolana? I don't know. There's not much information about Love Shinies and the Blana parents. Not sure exactly how this story connects with the events happening right now. Nemus reads, at the city gates, the nomad looks back at the citadel in the distance one last time. He resists the urge to turn tail and flee at the acrid burning smell. He knows what it signifies. She knows she should do as Nemo said, and leave the city to seek the Wakeman as quickly as possible, regardless of whether Love Shiny is successful. But despite the urgency in Nemo's voice, she did not sound like she believed things would take a turn for the better. Nor did she believe that Bridget could convince the Wakeman to come. Bridget could smell the same burning smell coming from Nemos. It reminded her of the obsessions that only the dead could have. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Such a sly fella. Who are you waiting for? Death? Death. Are you just waiting for it to pat you on the back so you can have a nice little race together? Who's that? Oh, I forgot. You could hear me. I can hear you. I can even sense your presence. But I can't see you. Leave the city, outsider. You're an outsider too, by the sound of it. Naturally. Consider it advice from one outsider to another. Leave, Bridget. Nothing's more important than being alive. This city will be dead by sunrise tomorrow. Listen to Nemos. Find her kinsman. Run as fast as you can and never look back. You are right. I should go. But I will be back. Back? Stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary. You're going to come back after she tried so hard to get you out of here? So, you also think it was just an excuse to keep me safe? What else could it be? You really think you can sway those wood brains? Maybe if you waited for spring, one of their brains would sprout out and they might come with you to the dark woods. I don't like the way you talk, invisible brother. What did you call me? Brother? You have burnt stench, but other than that, you remind me of the nomad. No clue how you are related to us, but it feels right. Let's make a bet then, Bridget. A bet? On whether you'll be back tonight, before Nasa Wirsi is burnt to the ground. I say it's impossible. That's not what you really want to bet on. Oh yeah? Then tell me, what am I really thinking? You just want to prove that you're right, that nothing is more important than being alive. You think I will choose survival in the end. But whatever, your own. Well, what are you waiting for then? Just doesn't feel fair. If you win, I will live the rest of my life in regret. But if I win, it doesn't really matter to a bystander like you. So, how about this? If I win, you go back to where you came from. Oh, I don't think he didn't like that. I don't think he did like that. I don't think he enjoyed that, Bridget. And where do you think I should go back to? No idea, but not here. This isn't your home. You sound like you've been betrayed by the city folk here before, but you still can't bring yourself to hurt them. You acted like you wanted to see them reap what they sowed, but didn't sound happy at all when you talked about the city burning to the ground. Honestly, you're the most struggling person I ever met, and... Enough! Very well. If you win, I will return to where I belong. But just coming back here to die won't cut it. What else do you need me? I'm sorry, wrong person? What else do you need me to do then? Deliver a message to those wood brains outside the city. Tell them it's been 600 years. Nobody's blaming you anymore. Go do your jobs. And one more thing. Bad words in ancient language. You stupid wood brains. What? Pass that on to those fools Verburton. Especially the future bit. Did you get all that? Need me to repeat myself? No, the elders sometimes speak that language, so I understand it. More or less. Then go. What are you waiting for? Was all of that just so you could tell me this? Just get moving already. The golden-haired nomad takes a deep breath and runs away from the city. Her ancestor, whose figure she never saw, stands in place, unmoving. Stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary. I wasn't expecting him to have descendants. I mean, I knew he had a daughter, but huh. I mean, it's kind of nice that despite everything that happened, at least we can see that his descendants were able to live somewhat. I mean, obviously, they aren't exactly welcome. Or no, maybe they are welcome, but they decide to live as nomads, so they don't have a home. But at least they are alive, somewhat well too. At least from what I can see from Bridget. Nemo turns to leave, while Love Shiny looks towards the dark woods. The sun has set beneath the horizon. Curfew is about to begin. In the distance, she sees the dark mist spreading from the forest towards Nassauirsi, thicker than ever. Made it in time. She raises her spear towards the mist outside, lighting a bright yellow spark in the city of purple. As though receiving some kind of message, the mist slowly rises until it is level with the flame at the tip of her spear. Yes, come here, when it's warm, where it's warm and bright, where there's still life. Yes, over here. What? You want to pretend I don't exist again? I want to let you. This light will never go out, not until true darkness falls. Attracted by the flames in her hands, yet unable to approach, the mist begins to flow through the streets. Soon, it returns, but this time, her flame can neither draw or repel it. There is a cacophony within the mist. He feels as though everything has gone dark all of a sudden. The dark mist has come. Is this your answer? Yes, this is my answer. It is incomplete. It needs time. Time is your enemy, not your friend. We'll see about that. The deadly fires have not yet completely transformed the people into the Walking Dead. They are still alive. There's still time to return the flames. And you're not going anywhere until Nemos awakens them. Ridiculous. Ridiculous? Maybe. Maybe my strength, my wisdom, and my arts are all so insignificant to you that it seems ridiculous. But I have my resolve. I still don't know what the fuck the dark mist is exactly. Nemus drags the coffin through the corridor. The red dragon's remains do not burn. They simply lie there quietly. This is how death should be. But Nemo seems to hear an ethereal voice laughing in her ear. Without hesitation, the wayward wake woman lifts the limp body and tosses it into the coffin. This coffin, Red Dragon, is your final resting place. It's where those like you belong. So, where are you now? Are you still watching us from somewhere with that twisted smile of yours? This vessel, at least, is beyond your reach. Otherwise, you would have burnt me to ash by now. And this spear, which never left your side. How many times have you breathed your flames from it? And how many others like Kulan have been your victims? You don't even know the answer, do you? With great effort, Nemos lifts the spear and thrusts it into the coffin. Flames from its tip engulf the coffin in an instant, spreading along the rope connecting it to Nemos and emerging with the purple fire on her. A deathly cold runs through Nemos' body, but she could hardly feel temperature at this point. You're mine now. I will finish what Kulan started. Let's go. Those lowly, despicable places that suffered from the war you stole victory in. You will be seen by all. Your death will be seen by all. They will know that you are dead, that the proud, imperious Red Dragon is dead. Here lies a blunted Dublin, in this coffin covered in freezing flames. But what will they do then? I pray that your death will wake them up. Of course, as Love Shiny hoped. They will know that the era you represented is over, that Nassau Irsi will escape this calamity, that Tara needs not celebrate its rebirth with the death of a city. But your fire must have gotten to my head, Dragon. Why is that I suddenly feel like the other ending, where it all ends in destruction, isn't so bad? Someone else may have killed you, but this is my revenge. The coffin remains silent, and Nemos no longer speaks. Silent, delirious, and determined, she drags the burning coffin down the stairs, making a point to let it hit each step on the way down. It sounds like the withered mockery of the dead. Oh boy, will this really be that simple? From my perspective, I think those people in the city are already too far gone because of the flames for them to have any salvation. I don't know, I really don't think they are going to make it, honestly. Oh well. Let's see how it goes then. EA 8. At the end of the night. Await the deluge, and when the sun rises, we shall have surpassed both life and death. Oh. Nemos drags the coffin out of the citadel. Not a single soul is in the square with the statue. Curfew has begun, but she drags the Red Dragon's coffin over as the draconic flames burn within her own body. Wherever she goes, the darkness retreats. Once she moves on, it reoccupies the space. Cullen, I envy you. No one could have slept through you dragging that colossal statue, forcing them to come out to see what's going on. What about me, Cullen? What am I supposed to do? Do I have to keep shouting the red dragon is dead as I'm walking down the street? She lifts her head to meet the statue's eyes, the violet flames dancing within its pupils. Do not answer. She recalls the songs she sung for the dead with the Wakemen all those years ago. Those from the city would also join in, if only for the first few lines. I hope you all remember the ancient ballads, Tarrant. So, Red Dragon, which song should I sing to announce your death? How about the blasphemous Thin Thin's Wake? Would you enjoy a funeral where people get into fights, splash whiskey on your corpse, and then you wake up after smelling the alcohol? Get it. No one wants you coming back to life. She casually sings another song that pops into her mind. The black crowns shroud the marsh and vales. In valleys, the cold wind shrieks through the mountains and hills. At crack of dawn I see a traveler who asked me the way to the golden field. The wayward wake woman sings with a hoarse voice, dragging the burning coffin towards every inhabited part of the city she's familiar with. She stops at every house, making sure that the purple flames reflect in their windows, that the elegy is heard inside. The more she sings, the more intimately the flames envelop her body, overwhelming her sluggish senses and making every step feel like torturous labor. But it also lets her hear even the smallest snippet of speech from every window. Taran language classes, Kieran? That can't possibly be free, right? That price, well, it's doable, as long as we cut down on the wine. Bloody hell, Kieran. If I helped you more back then, could you have escaped the Victorians? Damn it, Dark Mist. If the Red Dragon wants to drive it away, I will do it myself. The black crowns shroud the marsh and valleys. The cold wind shrieks through the mountains and hills. At crack of dawn I see a traveler who asks me the way to the golden field. Who is that? Nemus? What she's up to, singing in the middle of the night. And what's that she's dragging that burns so bright? Darling, even if you want to help the Tyrant cause, surely you don't have to join the army? Fine, I will wait for you to come home, for the day we win our freedom. Finally some quiet. going on and on about how your hand hurts and when your whole arm already gone. It's not like screaming about it's going to get you any medicine. If it was going to be like this, I wish you would never come home. I'd rather spend my whole life missing you. I said to him, poor chap, even I don't know how far you have to go. But if you wish, I will go with you for a bit, towards the golden field. Isn't that a funeral song? Those purple flames. Who is it mourning? What? The enemies have entered the woods and are right outside the city? I can't sit back and do nothing. Nemos, where is that army recruiting? I will take my weapons and go. There is neither light nor any voice behind this window. Turn right and pass by the palace. Cross the river of fine wine. I will share a cup by the riverside before we return to the Golden Field Road. Oh man. Miss Nemos, would you be moving in with Mr. Cullen after the war is over? I was hoping there's be someone other than me to cook for him. Perhaps the most important thing to do before Her Highness returns is to repair the workshop door. I hope you'll find that golden field and a home in flames you will never yield. I'm sure you won't hesitate them and complete your trip to the golden field. A wake woman on the brink of death. Who does she think she's going to rouse with those songs? When she can't even wake herself up. But whatever happens, Bridget, oh silly child of my distant bloodline, don't come back. This city isn't worth your life. Nemos walks towards the last street she has yet to visit. She has been through practically the entire city and heard the simmering relentlessness behind every door. But none of them have opened. The wayward wake woman gradually loses her grasp on her senses as her voice grows weaker. She has sung every song she knows, even the blasphemous Infant's Wake, from start to finish. She has only one song left. She did not want to sing it, but now she has no other choice. I stepped into the dark woods one morn, calling to the mists of horror. I trod upon the roads heading out to war. Nemus. Emma. I almost couldn't recognize you. You're still. I'm not doing good, Nemus. I will be dead soon. I just wanted to lie in bed and stop breathing. My joint hurts, my throat's burning, and even seeing people who aren't with us anymore. But I heard your song and saw the coffin. I'm on death's door already, so I figured why not come and see. Where's the dark mist? Maybe in the forest, maybe in the city. Maybe right behind us. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care either. One question, Nemus. I need you to answer it before I can die in peace. Inside that coffin, is that truly our red dragon? Emma stands on her front porch, staggering, as if ready to collapse at any moment into a pile of kindling, to burn in despair and return to dust. I put her in the coffin myself. Why did she die? Who killed her? Who? Emma's feeble but angry voice echoes down the empty streets. Who? 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 The echoes linger. Nemo turns around to look. The streets are still empty, but she knows where the echoes are coming from. Behind every closed door is a pair of bloodshot eyes hidden away, just like the ones on Emma's face. Nemo turns again to look towards the towering citadel where nothing remains within. You guys still want revenge? That's right. As long as we can move, we can avenge the red dragon. Nemus turns away in despair. She stops singing her songs and merely hauls the coffin step by step towards the square. Wait, Nemus, wait! How many times must I repeat myself, Mist? Eblana is dead. I killed her with my own hands. Her body lies in the coffin Nemus is now dragging through the streets. The people must know she's dead and return her violet flame so their bodies will no longer burn. Wishful thinking. She did not gift those flames. She merely started the fire. Everything the red dragon promised will be lost because of you. When has she ever cared about honoring her promises? But if that's all that matters to you, Love Shiny retreats, step by step, until there's no room for her to move any further. Only then does a fierce flame burst from her spear tip, melting the coldly lit vegetation. Now that the only red dragon stands before you, whatever she's promised you, the only way we'll get it is through me. Do you hear the doors opening in the distance? You must have. Nemos aside, the first resident to break curfew has already opened their door. So for their sake, as well as the hundreds more who will take to the very same streets, you must remain here. Before my answer to Nasaursi is deemed a failure, before the people here are reduced to shambling corpses bent on tearing the dark mist apart, you have no right to take the lives of anyone trespassing in the dark. What arrogance. You call this arrogance? If Tara needs it, I can be far more arrogant than that. The red dragon speaks no more, and the flames of life burn brightly atop her spear. She steps forward with her back straight, no longer dodging the ice-cold branches, but allowing them to lace her body with bloodied scratches. The juxtaposition of the giant statue with the two tiny figures make them seem like ghosts. But somehow, Nemos can also feel the presence of others besides them. In fact, they seem to have crowded the square, as if the whole city is here. They are all watching and listening, lit up by the strange purple glow from their Originium lamp. No, it's more than a glow. Their bodies are burning purple. The one who killed the red dragon is... Nemos knows they haven't changed a bit. They are still waiting for her to utter a name they can curse and then destroy. Or maybe they will even destroy themselves. Love Shiny? No one would believe there were actually two red dragons. Who else then? Who else could possibly kill the dragon who seemed to toy with life and death? Before she can stop herself, she has a thought. Why not just say it? It was the Dark Mist, or the Victorians. Revenge, indeed. Let these lunatics dash into the mist and die in the Red Dragon's name. Let them fulfill their desire for vengeance and let this wild city die. It was born in disgrace. Let it die in madness. Yes, die. Let everyone who stayed perish, just like those who left and went into the dark mist. I stepped into the dark woods for more, calling to the mists of horror. Nemos turns to look at the colossal dragon skeleton sculpture and recalls that recent evening, awash with confusion and sorrow. What was he thinking? The man who dragged the statue into the square. What song was he singing in his heart? Was it the song they taught Theo when they rescued him? When they rescue him? What feels like centuries ago? At this moment, the last bit of her sanity snatches the answer from the fiery clutches of her rage. The answer that had been fluttering around since the very beginning of the story. The answer to the red dragon, to the sisters, to the mirror and reflection, and to the flames of life and death. It wasn't you to throw his life away protecting these people. The one who killed the red dragon is no other than the red dragon. It was herself. The woman before Nemos stares at her blankly, as if she did not hear her words. Straining her entire being, Nemos yells at the whole city. The red dragon killed herself. She never intended to light the flames within your bodies, but she did not want you to burn into cinders, so she offered her own life instead, to protect you from death. And yet, must you exact fruitless revenge? Must you destroy everything she gave her life for? The city falls silent as purple flames flicker, leaving only the dark mist lingering restlessly at the gates, as if waiting for its hesitant prey to step into its domain. You're saying she killed herself so we wouldn't exact revenge? And what do we do now? The onslaught of questions from the residents sent Nemo's head spinning. Bloodshot eyes that did not shut from news of the death instead asked her questions. Grinding their grinding teeth that did not relax from news of the death instead asked questions. Clenched fists that did not open from news of the death instead ask questions. Silence, tension, confusion. Their revenge was rejected, overruled by the red dragon, so where should their sorrow go? News? My unborn child? The red dragon? Someone? Tell me. Emma? If even revenge is out of my hands, then what else can I do? I have nothing else. The war took everything from me. How am I supposed to live on? Tell me, Niels. Tell me, Red Dragon. No one, just tell me, quickly. How am I supposed to live on? Or should I go to you instead? Emma, no! Isn't this the only path left for me? I stepped into the dark woods one more, calling to the mists of horror. Niels? Is that you? Are you finally back? I trod upon the road, heading out to war. No pipes a singing, nor battle drums a roar. Only the bells behind me through dew and fog their rings to soar. Stop singing! That song snatched Niels away from me. Why would you still sing that song, Nomad? Emma seems lost to madness until a soft voice sings the same tune, but with different lyrics. The night-blind lover is led by a wake woman as they slowly walk into the square. Again, through the dark woods. Stop singing that! Wait, again? It may be presumptuous, but I tried writing a new verse to the song. Because I don't want our brave loved ones to leave us, to never see us again, to be eternally lost in the mist, just like we are. Again through the dark woods, parting the mists of horror. Our gallants dearly departed, my heart so sad and sore. And so, in my dreams I go, lighting bonfires in the woods, not to reunite, but to light the path you trod with fog and dew. Not to reunite, but to light the path you trod. A tear trickles from Emma's eyes, streaking across her sallow face. Return it. Return your flames and the blessing of the red dragon. Return the flames? If I return this blessing, this fire back to her, will it light up their path? Return it, and the wandering departed will also return to the flames and rest in peace. No, I don't want that. I just want to see him again. If you die as you are, you will only ever brush past each other in the fog. Again and again. And what should I do? Live on. He chose to walk into the mess, be lost within it as well. Return the fire to light his path. And then let the years pass. Let life begin anew. And when your hair is white and he learns his wish was fulfilled, only then will you meet again. The woman buries her face in her hands as she kneels on the ground, tears streaming down her fingers. Moran hands her a candle. The candle flame turns purple the moment she takes it between sobs. The wakemen and refugees slowly sink their way through the city, like a tiny stream left behind after a night of rain. It is by no means a clear stream, nor a turbulent one. It is a miserable, muddy trickle flowing down centuries of painful history, carrying dust and blood, and about to run dry. But it is this murky bitterness that reveals the city's true self in the gloomy night. Nights of falling asleep, gripping old photos, mornings awakened by phantom pain from amputated limbs. Now, empty houses fell to ruins, while those fortunate enough to return home were greeted only by orphanage dolls scattered across dusty floors. The doors are opening? They are. People flood into the streets like a burst of dawn, pouring into the square. Some leave their houses with candles in hand, while many more follow Emma's leads and take one from the wake woman. The flames still burn purple, but seem to have softened and bear a bit of warmth. Finally. Place the red dragon's coffin at the statue base, Nemos. It seems that Nasa Oirsi will witness a grand fire returning ceremony tonight. You should be the first, Nemos. Me? But this is her funeral, so... Are you sure? It is more than just hers, is it not? The wake woman looks around, trying to pinpoint the shadow of a stranger. But even if the ghost wasn't trying to hide from her, she has no way of hearing the long overdue words of forgiveness from his mouth. Now we're even, Woodbrains. Nemos takes a candle from the wake woman and bows before the burning coffin beneath the dragon statue. Rest in peace. He deliberately neglects to mention the name of the departed. He places the candle before the coffin, no longer able to stop her tears from crashing into the flames. Violet fire instantly rises up into the sky, spreading from the coffin to the entire statue. The entire sculpture is set ablaze. Oh my god, the music! The crowds place their candles down beside the statue and return the purple flames to the one who granted them their repute. Some are silent, and some call the red dragon's name, but many more chant the most precious things they had lost in the war. Tears fall like rain. The suppressed, the promised, the twisted, the incited. Tears wash away the flickering hollow pageantry, revealing only the sorrow of life's crushed bits. Crude, sharp, turbid, and stuck in their throats. Only now does their sorrow manage to cry out. The rain of tears converge into the stream of songs, pooling around the statue as the raging blaze evaporates it all, until even the citadel behind the square is engulfed in flame. As I said, this is my answer. The mist does not reply, but after a long time, Love Tiny hears a deep sigh. You made this choice yourself. The dark mist dissipates like awakening from a dream, and Love Shiny sees real black clouds above her. She heads towards the square. She goes to return fire to the dead. She walks the whole way from the city gates to the square. Every living resident is gathered before the burning statue. The soaring purple flames have already taken over one side of the citadel. No one is able to approach. So, Love Shiny gets all the space she could want. It should work from here too. Hebron, may Tara never need your flames again. A small blossom of fire flies from Love Shiny's palm. He does not know if this conforms to funerary tradition. It is simply an act of instinct. The bright yellow flower flutters into the purple blaze. Love Shiny stands quietly on the other as the other fire returners have done. But the fire does not die out. Oh, animation. The purple fire still lights up half the sky until everyone has returned their flames. Though the original lamps on their waists remain a ice-cold violet. Love Shiny finally realizes that at some point the giant dragon, still aflame, has stopped right before her. She meets its eyes. Iblana's eyes. Still not giving up, Iblana? Very well then. I will play along with you. One last time. Love Shiny's spear tip flares up as the giant dragon flaps its wings and charges towards her. Oh my god. Dude, the music was so cool in that part, so holy shit. I tried to keep up with the feeling of the music by trying to be more loud, trying to be more theatrical with my reading, but I don't know if I could make justice, man. The music was so cool. I need to see if I can find it after on YouTube. Okay, EA8 after. Still wondering exactly how Iblana is going to be survive. Is she going to become like a spirit like Laboratoch? Maybe that could be it. Your Highness, the singer has just sent word that the elocutionist and the rest have taken Love Shiny. They are on their way to County Hillock. I see. He only sent news after our troops left, and the leader had already set out for County Hillock. He seemed to want to avoid offending the elocutionist and his group, but also to avoid accusations of concealing information. What should we do with him? Dublin has never needed him to be our eyes. No one is counting on him for this. My utmost apologies. I take full responsibility. I assumed they were heading towards County Hillock on orders. I never imagined they would dare to take Love Shiny. But they haven't gotten far, so we can still catch up if we set off now. Your Highness, I bring news from your sister. She hopes... Oh my god, sorry. She hopes you can curb the elocutionist and his men from acting rashly and bring her back. She said that herself. That's right. I will mobilize the troops at once. Hold on. Your Highness, we should stop them as soon as possible. Also, I don't want to go to County Hillock. Straight from the dragon's mouth. If that is truly her desire, then she ought to realize it with her own hands. It would be no difficult task with her flames. Has she not already sentenced quite a few to death in the name of the leader? Tell her this. If that's what she wants, she can do it herself. No, there's no need for even that. Your Highness, if I may be so bold, she is my sister? Evelyn is such an odd character, like... I guess through this entire time, she indeed was trying to force her sister to, how should I say, grow a backbone, have some wit, or something like that. From the moment that when they were kids, where she was trying to, she got angry at her sister for not using her flames to heal the foul beast. To the moments where she essentially forced her sister to make a decision by the moment she stepped into Nasa Odyssey. I just don't really understand from what exactly is the root of this feeling. Is it love? A form of tough love? Is it anger? Frustration? I don't know. Or maybe there isn't any feelings related to it. It's just it would be good for her plan or for her goals to have her sister be more active. I can't really tell. The giant dragon flaps its steel wings, stirring up a flaming vortex. But Love Shiny does not waver. She stabs her spear firmly in its eye socket. You still unable to commit to killing me, Love Shiny? Gradually, the dragon's voice overlaps with Ablana's, and eventually, even its body becomes hers. The scenery around them changes swiftly, just like that night in the ruins with Labratoch. I just don't know. What exactly do you want? You deceived me and lied to so many. All for what? For the city to be buried alongside you? To become the next legendary King Gale? Never lied to you. And why should I believe you now? What exactly is Nasa Odyssey to you? What about Tara? I had always believed we shared the same dream, so why do they seem completely different now? Or will dreams eventually become a card for you to play in your mad pursuit of power? One that you inevitably grow bored of, just like It's like Love Shiny back in County Hillock. County Hillock? I saw no desire to return. I saw no desire to return to me in your eyes back then. Only relief. Was I mistaken? Though indeed, I was truly sick of it back in County Hillock. With my flames, I can mold anything I want into any shape I want. Everything except my reflection in the mirror. No matter how large a blaze I start, it wouldn't change one bit. Because you have never burned her directly. Because I have never burned you directly. I have only ever waited, always been waiting for you to give me an answer. An answer? What about you, Love Shiny? What do you want? Yes. It's good that your blood and your upbringing have you carried yourself high. But if you want for nothing, then what sort of position am I meant to leave by my side for you? Go on. This is your wish on a snowy night. I will let you aspire as grand as you want. True, you never used your flames on me, but only because you had other tools more suited for the task. Fear, duty, guilt, sympathy. You have never asked me directly to change, but you have done so indirectly countless times. So, all my attempts to guide you were useless, yet my apathy bore fruit? How terribly ironic. Whatever the case, you have finally returned of your own will, ready to embrace a real life. That is enough. Conspiracies, lust for power, war. Is that what you call a real life? Is it not? Stories, poems, legends. Do you think those are enough to constitute a life worthy of you or I? I know. I've always been ashamed of myself. Even now I hate myself for not sharing your suffering. I was the one who left, forcing you to shoulder it all on your own, letting them mold you into who you are now. No, Love Shiny. Recently, I have been wondering if you're just as arrogant as I am. The only difference is that my arrogance is directed at the lens, while yours is focused solely on me. What? Conspiracies, lust for power, war. Why do you assume those are what shaped me? They have never changed me. They simply happened to take on a form I was able to yield with ease. Nothing more. The tiniest bit of power can decide whether one lives or dies. Even more power can decide the fate of armies, and an overwhelming amount can decide the rise and fall of nations. But power comes to an end. The poets have always known this, and I think you do too. Am I wrong, Love Shiny? Death mocks all equally, preparing a predestined end for those who crave power, ruthlessly snatching away everything they spend their whole lives chasing. So, if you knew your path would come to naught, why did you still... Iblana backs away, as the giant steel-forged dragon follows suit. Is it escaping? Or trying to hide? Love Shiny subconsciously eases her fire, but in the next moment bites down on her lip and abruptly increases her strength, pushing Iblana forward. Very good. At least you have learned the most fundamental thing required for a life without me. Cruelty? Determination. If you have decided that this path is your life, then step forward and never look back. I should be telling that to the people of Nassau Odyssey. Let me finish. Death mocks all equally, yet I shall mock death. So bless me, dear sister, for I am finally about to embark on a grand adventure. Iblana retreats again and again, the smile on her face fainter than ever. The sensation in Love Shiny's arms of piercing through steel gradually lessens, until it feels as smooth as a stroke through a body, and as hollow as running a spear of flame. I think living in the Fallout wasteland is kinda cool. Punky, shut up! Don't ruin the climax of the story! And also, welcome to the stream, Hoiko. Until an immense force, like the final flash of a dying light, erupts from her ear tip, pulling Love Shiny towards the other side. Ice-cold flames wrap around her body, and she suddenly realizes that she now stands at the entrance of the citadel, on the Red Dragon Square, right in the middle of the fire-returning rite. Or perhaps the dragon skeleton she is currently entangled with merely returned to its original position, and took the chance to pull her, with her firm grip on her spear, into the core of the funeral flames. Shut up, Oikon! Shut up! Do you still wish to get away from me, Love Shiny? Light shots out from Love Shiny's spear, brighter than ever. In a flash, she feels a burning sensation as painful as her internal organs rupturing repeatedly. The flames of life burst and fade in the center of death, again and again, until her weapon can no longer stand her overloaded art and bursts aflame as well. The dragon's bones crash and collide with each other, like thousands of mouths singing their separate elegies. The flames slowly grow warmer as Iblana's figure gradually fades. Love Shiny's lips quiver, itching to say words of farewell. In her heart, she scans every book she has read, yet it is unable to recall an appropriate line. Before she dissipates, Eblana slowly cradles Loveshiny in an embrace. Farewell, till death do us meet again. I hope you enjoy my parting gift. Parting gift? The mourners in the square were completely oblivious to what is occurring within the flames. All they see is a fire growing taller and stronger, now covering the pedestal, the coffin, the dragon sculpture, the citadel, yet continuing to ascend. The flames distort the dragon's figure. They can no longer tell whether it is flapping its wings in flight, in a death match with some unseen foe, or crying out in anguish with its head run through. Everyone is silent, trying to identify its posture in the firelight, but all is in vain. Until Bridget cries out in surprise. Oh. The fire changed color. The fire changed color. A strong wind rising up from the ground turns the sky searing purple flames into a maelstrom. And at the bottom, where the coffin lies, arises a small but scorching sun. The entire deep purple vortex seems to light up, emitting a shining yellow from the bottom to the top. Everyone near the bonfire backs away. The flames suddenly bear warmth, nearly burning them. The rising heat dissipates, evaporating even the stream of sorrow. Perhaps a miracle is about to occur. Is it the only thought on anyone's mind? A miracle. One I have no choice but to accept for Tara. Is this the parting gift you prepared for me, sister? Eblana is undeniably dead. She cannot answer. Loveshiny tries to recall their hug. Expectations meet, a pinch of warmth, a cold calculation. What were the proportions of each in that embrace? Or maybe all those things were inseparable to Eblana. You were right, Eblana. If this was your ultimate goal, if you insist on laying this blood-stained crown atop my head, then yes. Salan Abael. Until death, we shan't meet again. The flaming vortex exhales and dissipates. The red dragon, the one who led the tyrant through the long nights, steps forth. From the statue's center towards the entirety of Nas Saoirisi, So that way it looks like the dragon was reborn into a new form. There's no need for the people to know about the existence of two red dragons. I see. Her expression is blurred by flame, yet her figure is as solid as the ever-persistent life on the land. One step, then another. Her feet step over the coffin still burning in purple embers. There is no body within, only the familiar flame-spewing spear of the leader. The crowd holds their breath, and the square falls silent, as if they stand outside a hospital's delivery room, or perhaps a cemetery after the last shovel of soil has been heaped into a grave. Only dancing flames remain without rest. And forgive everything else you have done to me, Eblanner. But not this parting gift. Never. From past to present, your name will sink into oblivion, alongside the countless names who built Tara. The only red dragon of Tara will be Love Shiny Dublin. I have returned. The red dragon who led you in the fight against Victoria, in the fight for independence and freedom. Love Shiny Dublin is back from the abyss of death. I died to quench the flames upon you all, but the rain of tears you shed for me extinguished that fire, allowing me to return from the abyss. This time, though, I will not drive you to your deaths. Our grand undertaking is complete. Never again will there be cause for countless tyrants to offer up their lives and leaves us only ruins and wailing. I pray with all my heart that every tyrant will be able to curb their own flame, flames that came from slavery, from oppression, from humiliation, from sorrow, that never died out, not for thousands of years. I neither need nor expect you to forget. I only hope that you can do as our ancestors did, and let those flames become your lamp. A lamp that first warms yourself, and then illuminates the path for us all, so we can truly laugh, think, and live in our homeland. A bright, yet gentle light. She's practically Jesus now. She's pretty much Jesus to these people now. Where was it? No, long nine steps forward, expression. Here. I died to quench the flames upon you all. Essentially, she's pretty much saying that she died. She died to give forgiveness to their sins, to release them from their sins, the flames, their doom. She's pretty much Jesus. She's a dragon Jesus now. She's Arknights dragon Jesus. While the crowd is still mulling over her words, one of the residents suddenly cries out in pain. The burn on my hand suddenly hurting? Wait, the colors of all your lamps. Even my own changed colors. These are the lights the Red Dragon hopes you will carry to warm yourselves. Purple fire belongs only to the dead, yet we unwittingly let our own flames be dyed its color through overwhelming death and loss. But we mistook that fire for a blessing and allowed ourselves to be dragged towards the abyss. If the Red Dragon hadn't killed herself tonight, and we hadn't managed to return her flames, we could all have been dead by now, turned into walking corpses. To extinguish flames of death in ourselves? You said that's why she killed herself? The sense of guilt that had crept up on Nemos after the purple flames vanished leaves her unable to reply. She only nods slightly. Then she feels a sudden chill on her face. It was a drop of water. Nemos lifts her head and looks to the distant night sky. More look up as the damp raindrops pelt their faces, gently washing their tears away. It is raining. On Samhain's Eve, the rain falls, heavier and heavier, but the crowd still remains in the square. They wish to thank the Red Dragon for returning their lives, for his separating life from death. But the dragon tells everyone she will remain here until everyone returns home to rest. So the people gradually disperse, and eventually, even the wakemen and refugees bid goodbye to the dragon. They worry that some of the dead, who have not returned their fire yet, will gather around the ruins. Although that worry is unfounded. By the time sun rises, no longer will there be any wandering dead on barren soil. Amidst sobs, Nemos bids goodbye to the dragon as well. Next day, he will wake up early to collect bricks from all over town to make a new door for Kulan's workshop. The huge square empties out, leaving only a red dragon, a nomad. Where are you off to next, Bridget? Not sure there's anywhere to go, really. All I ever done is pass on messages or reporting oncoming catastrophes. I think they will replace my job though. What are they called again? Catastrophe messengers? There have been less and less of us nomads anyhow, so I guess I'm glad someone will carry on the work at least. You should try contacting Rose Island. What's that? A pharmaceutical company. They are good people. You'll have to look for their headquarters. It's a land ship. Yes, we are good people. We are just sometimes send a child to fight some mercenaries or some soldiers or some monsters. But only sometimes. Only sometimes, okay? And yes, we are being led by a old cat hag, a a child, a child with bunny ears, and a person who is so sick that they need constant medical treatment. So obviously they are the most reliable people around. We'll write them a letter tomorrow, and I was hoping you could deliver it for me. Think you will like the place. But for tonight, you ought to rest inside the fort. We can't have you sleeping in a tent with all this rain. Let's head to the Citadel gates first. The two of them slowly make their way towards the Citadel. The downpour continues, and the fire on the sculpture is nearly extinguished. Only a faint flame of indistinct color flickers in the dragon's eye sockets. They suddenly hear a voice from behind. Stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary, I'm telling you. How can someone forget their own bet? Is there someone still in the square? It's that invisible brother of mine. He made a bet with me. Invisible? Don't turn around, Love Shiny. He's a wee bit awkward, that one. No fan of being seen, I'm sure. Looking at the flickering flame in the dragon's eye, Labertouch recalls a time centuries past, when Aolel was still a lad with a cracking voice, while his own beard had just started to sprout. Maygret, exquisite, was promoting everything Victorian in the royal capital, and ultimately even banned a favorite custom for Taran commoners: placing bets. No, not the gamble, not the gamble. You can't prohibit the gamble. What are they going to do? What are they going to spend their money on? That day, Labertouch had exploded in an argument with his mother, with an unprecedented level of rage. Afterwards, his mother ordered him to fast and reflect, but Aolel sneaked into his brother's room with a big piece of steak before him. The brothers blew out every light in the room and merrily gorged themselves, even licking their fingers clean. Enough stubbornness. Soon everyone in the capital will be a Victorian, Aolel said. Labertouch stroked his still soft beard and merrily shook his head. He asked, "Then why not make a bet with me? Once Mother is gone, not a soul will willingly continue pretending they are Victorian." "Fine," Aolel replied. The older brother burst into laughter. "What's on the table then? What would make a good wager? Why not the crown? If you win, I will never set foot in the palace for the rest of my life." "No, I will wager anything but that." Eolil had refused. It was I who insisted on having it my way. Half as a joke, and half hungry for a gamble. I nearly put him in tears, didn't I? Yes, because Eolil was always the type to give in. He would definitely agree. And so, in the end, he said, "Alright, if you go, then never come back." Afterwards, I ended up leaving the palace, wandering for years as Eolil spent that time unhappy in the capital. I heard that after losing half his men in the court, Eolil was controlled by not even Victorians, but Taran nobles speaking with Victorian accents. You lost, Libertach. No matter how homesick you are, you have spent far too long on this family visit. Not to mention, you're just a pathetic shadow cast by firelight. Man, have you your own road to walk? Man, you have your own road to walk. No more breaking promises. Right. Just like that. Take out that purple fire from the stab wound on your chest. Now, return it to the dragon who walked the same path you did. The exiled king's face twists from pain, but nevertheless, he extends his arm bit by bit towards the eye of the skeleton. Let's see, Eolil. Is this your blades? Can phantoms also feel pain? Can they shed tears of anguish? Or is it merely the rain dripping through him as his body fades to nothingness? He can no longer tell. Or perhaps the flame of your good descendant here. Labratach! Love Shiny snaps around, but there is no sign of anyone else in the square. Only purple fire in the red dragon's eyes. It flares up a split second before the rain extinguishes it completely. Huh. But then, who's the writer talking to? No, hold on. This whole thing is still a story. So maybe the events that transpired here are not exactly what happened. Still. Because I truly believe that the person talking with the writer right now is Eblana. Maybe the story that we're reading are more like the public version of what the events that happened. Just like how the people of Nasaoirisi are not fully aware of exactly all the details that has transpired during these days. They never came to know of the existence of two red dragons. EA ST3 back cover. A story repeated countless times is what becomes history. final part of the story. No voiceover? Okay. Just before the mother engaged the dark mist, the wakeman of the woods came to remind her that she had yet to do that which was most important. Hold a proper funeral for her daughter. The mother had intended to fight the dark mist to the death, but tears began to stream down her face when the wakemen sang their ancient song, and she chose to follow tradition and hold a wake for her daughter. All through the night she cried at the purple bonfire representing her daughter's soul. The downpour of tears quenched the fire burning through the city, nearly extinguishing even the purple funeral fire. When the wakeman once again asked the mother if she would still fight the dark mist to the death, she gazed upon the smoldering bonfire with tears on her face, saying, "I cannot abandon my kingdom's people." As she said those words, the feeble purple flame suddenly turned bright yellow. Her daughter rose from death and walked out of the flames, and mother and daughter embraced each other. Still don't know what the dark mist is exactly. At this point, it does seem like a supernatural force that exists within the forest. Could it be something similar to the pheromones, maybe? Maybe an entity like the unicorn in Victoria? Perhaps. One power enough to... Because if the unicorn in Victoria was powerful enough to even grant someone immortality, maybe the entity behind the dark mist, or maybe even the dark mist itself, is also a being similar to the unicorn. So ends the story. Not in fragments, but a true ending. Congratulations, we have pieced together the truth. And what a happy ending. This is all thanks to you. Come, let us toast. Then I will write this all down and publish it for... Well, publishing may be a challenge. But now that it's complete... The funeral, the bonfire, the resurrection. You saw everything. I never expected you to find the courage to return to Nasa Odyssey. Singer. Oh! Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he is one of the Dublin people. The one who was supposed to sing during the Samhain festival. The one that ran into the woods along with the other Dublin high-rank officials and eventually got lost into the ruins. Until he started hearing the songs of the Wakemen while they were holding the funeral for Kula. Oh, wait. No, but if the woman is standing in the dark like it was described a few stages ago, then perhaps maybe wouldn't be weird for him to not recognize Eblana, if the mysterious woman indeed is Eblana right now. And it was a lovely ending, wasn't it? Eblana departed with the dead, never to return. As for you, your highness Love Shiny, I dedicate this story to you. So it's Love Shiny instead then. I think. He could still be confused though. The way this woman talks is a bit too, I don't know, the way she speaks. Or should I better say the the phrases she forms. It gives me more of a Eblana type of feel rather than Love Shine. I don't know. It feels like it misses some humbleness. Could I say? Whether to publish it, seal it away, or have it fade into obscurity, along with the remnants of Dublin like me, is all up to you. How wonderful. I knew it was a Blana. I fucking knew it was a Blana. But then, how? No. It's still a story. Maybe, yeah, those events might not be exactly what happened. Or maybe they are exactly what happened, but she came back as a ghost, just like Labratach. Maybe. I don't know. Think, maybe if I read her files, will I know the answer? Yeah, maybe I could do that if I still have time by the end of this one. How wonderful. I almost regret allowing you to belittle yourself with a title like the singer. You. Wait. What? You are not Love Shiny. You are Eblana? The once singer swings his arm furiously, spilling his drink on the table. You are that. You can't be alive. You were killed twice, once by spear and once by fire. You shouldn't be here. Or am I dead? This isn't funny. You're dead. Red Dragon, go back to where you belong. I see. That's it. It was all a lie. You never died. You killed Love Shine instead. It was all a trick, an illusion. If so, what becomes of your story? My story? Have you calmed down? You shouldn't be alive. No. Has death ever been an eternal sleep for me? What I could do with life, I can do with death. As a reward for completing the story, writer, let me tell you one thing. All that matters is fire. The purple fire. The purple fire from your story, it may seem ethereal, but it is no fiction. It is true that over the long course of the war, I shared too much of my flame with others and became weak, feeble. But fire spreads, fire consumes, fire grows. After the battle with the Nachizarer on the Gastro, I needed to take back the flames I had given away, which had been growing on the plains, in the ruins, in the hearts of the people. You wanted repaid with interest. Taxation is the most basic authority of a monarch. Mundane kings collect blood taxes to torture their names. to fight over land and people that will last mere centuries at most. I collect blood taxes to pave a road between life and death, with the red dragon's flame, so that all those caught in between will look up to me. The ravings of a mad woman. No doubt it sounds that way to you, for you cannot fathom what happens when enough death to consume a nation is returned to its master. 1,000 years of anger, sorrow, and hatred converged on me all at once. Did you think they would let my flesh and spirit fade away so easily? A slave to hatred. What a fitting end for you. Have you already forgotten what I said in your story? Everyone and everything, though that thought they could mold me just happened to take on a form I was able to yield with ease. Were I truly their slave, you would have been ash the moment I saw you. You lunatic. That's why you allowed Wellington to station his troops in the dark woods to blockade the city, even continue the curfew. You never intended to spare Nassau City. Oh, I see. So, yeah, the people at the very start of the story, the whole thing were that's why that were a shortage happening in the city was because the people were saying that the Victorian troops were blockading the passages. And she was the one who ordered those troops to be there. Holy shit. She's fucking evil. This one's fucking evil, man. And we allowed her to be an operator at Rhodes Island. We really have low standards for hiring, huh? We are really going to hire anyone who knocks on our door, huh? Well, I thank you for finally being willing to shed light on the unpleasant truth of the Dark Mist and Wellington. Oh. Wait, so maybe the Dark Mist is not a supernatural occurrence that actually exists in the woods, maybe? Huh. I see. There's the Battle of Silver Rock Bluffs, which you witness from the deck of the Gastro, still haunts you in your alcohol-fueled dreams. It's never left you, what has it? Why else would you be so obsessed with depicting the mist dangling above people's heads, yet so loath to define it? The curfew was justified at first. There were still Victorian spies in Nassau City at the time indeed. The Duke of Wellington stepped up to the blockade when Law Shiny entered the city, because he wanted to smother any possibility of news leaking about the two red dragons. And the food that disappeared and came back on its own. The Brigadier was more than just your most trusted lieutenant. He was also the captain of Wellington's Red Steel Guard. When he went to ask for supplies, Wellington acquiesced. Wellington simply became disappointed in Love Shiny when she left Nassau City to seek the Wakeman. That's all. You should thank her, really. You would never have escaped the woods if Wellington hadn't relaxed the blockades out of disappointment. As for the victory party you were so afraid to describe, don't tell me you have really glorified it into a fairy tale in your memories. Of course not. What happened to the Dubliniers who weren't willing to give up their power? The ones you took away on a pretext? They were swallowed by the dark mist, as you put it, quite literally. They're dead, see? Oh, I see. Wait, but then, what about him? Did he, the singer, right now known as Ryder, he really just escaped by sheer luck? Oh. Oh my god, man. But Loveshine still managed to make up her mind and killed you. And Wellington didn't follow your ridiculous orders. I suppose I believe that you, aberrant purple fire, left you a vessel. What do you plan to do with it? Lead an army of the dead to retake Tara? I won't help you. No living soul will. You and your dead friends can go straight to hell. Indeed, you are never suited to be Dublin's singer. You cling to what you see and believe. When the two could no longer be reconciled, you choose self-destruction rather than to give up on either. But do you really imagine that everything has gone the way you think? A letter, Your Grace. You may enter. Is it urgent? No, ma'am. But look at the seal. It corresponds to no emblem on record from the past 50 years. Tara? The Duke of Castor scrutinizes what the servant is holding. On the edge of the envelope is an emblem excavated from the dusts of history. The young have never seen it, while the old have forgotten it. Only those forced to keep an eye on history remember its source. Are we uncertain whether if it's the mark of Tara or of King Gale? I never took you for a scholar of heraldry. That was not my intention. I just... Is it enough that we hold what it signifies? Sorry, that we know what it signifies. To the Duke of Castor. Open it and read it out loud. Not too quickly. Yes, ma'am. There is no greeting. Your previous letter was received. The response was delayed as the time was not yet ripe. Now it is. From this moment forth, martial law is hereby lifted in Nassau-Irsi and the surrounding lands south of the Grey Hills. Extra! Read all about it. Martial law to be lifted at midnight across all of Tara. Publishing restrictions lifted. The arts community rejoices. Read more on page 2. Finally. Now we can call this a proper tavern. Here, with the curfew lifted, you can drink all through the night. Besides, it's my birthday. Drinks are on the house. Really? You sure about this? There are enough people in the city to drink you out of the house and home. Worry about yourself. Look at you, rich boy. Leaving your lamp on the middle of the day. It's just busy, I forgot. It's been warm lately, so I have been renovating. Thought I would take the day off. Guess I really have been too busy. So, how about another beer? I have got to get this fatigue out of my system. Here you go. On the other hand, I am almost more afraid of not being tired. Being tired is how I know I am still breathing. No, that's not quite it. How should I put this? Living. Yes, living. You too, ma'am. Here's one for you. Oh, it's you, Emma. I'm sorry, I have got to get going. Off to do your time on the Asia plate? Yes. No idea how you managed to smuggle all that food out last year. But I hear you have been paying it off with honest work over there. So no need to be shy now. Have one on me. Thank you. To living. To Taura. To... Emma holds the cup with one hand and puts the other in her pocket, clutching the necklace she reclaimed last winter. The words said to her when it was returned came out of her mouth almost by instinct. To all our countrymen who gave their lives for Taura. You are really leaving, Bridget? Yeah, the burden beasts are calling for me from their pastures. Besides, I still haven't been to this Rhode Island that Love Shiny wanted me to see. Want to come with? Maybe if I have the chance. It's just sad to think that you're the one who brought us to Nassau Irsi, but can't stay yourself. It's not that I couldn't, I just chose not to, like your own choice to stay. Say hi to the Wakemen for me, if they come back to the city. Is that your intuition again? Not always, right? But I don't smell that burning stink anymore. It smells like fresh buds and spring. Deal in the morning. Oh, you're still here. You're still alive. Hello, Brigadier. God, this is awkward. You two know each other? You could say that. What are you doing here? I don't recall anything happening with the Red Steel Guard, which the Red Steel Guard would need to be deployed for. I am on leave. I came to honor the memory of my comrades. Scoundrels, to be sure, but they fought by my side. If you are looking to take revenge for those who died during your exile, this is your chance. A brawl with a soldier on leave wouldn't be considered an attack on the military. It wasn't you who killed Salman and the others. Not directly. I will remember what you did. It's enough for me. I see. What more can anyone ask for than to be remembered? Beltane, also known as the Festival of Fire, is scheduled to be revived in the coming days. The fire passing ritual will start in Oak Grove County. You're awfully quiet. Are you nervous? No, it just strikes me that we managed to turn what you would see in the books into reality. On the last day of spring, we extinguish the fires in our homes, then come together to relight them in Beltane. In the smoke of the bonfire and drifting ash, we welcome the coming of a new season and of a new life. Your Highness, Love Shiny, the lighting ceremony will begin in a few minutes. Alright, thank you. Maybe I have waited too long for this. It feels no realer than I dream. I wanted to sing, Nemos, but you have already sung for me back in Nassau Odyssey. So this time, the flames in my hands will do the singing. One more thing, Your Highness. About Her Highness Eblana. Your Highness, it's time. Sorry, Nemos. We can speak after the ritual. The Draco stepped forward. A stone platform sculpted in the style of the ruins serves at her lectern. She lights the bonfire upon it and turns around. From the square below her, many faces gazed up with bated breath. She takes a deep breath. 1,000 years ago, the Dracos of Victoria invaded Tara, creating the title of King Gale as epithet of shame, robbing the nomadic Terrans of their freedom. 600 years ago, the reigning King Gale had no choice but to allow the Victorians to remake the royal capital in their own image. 200 years ago, the Aslans seized the crown of Victoria, but once again they trampled the dreams of the Terrans beneath their feet, such that even our language was almost lost to us. Now, Tara stands on her own. I recite this history of shame, not to fan the flames of hatred, but in defense of peace. Sing what songs in Victorian suffice to praise the beauty you see. Tell what tales in Taran will move the passions. We remember that so that we might provide the living the dignity of life, and the dead the promise of reunion. Throughout the cold night, we shall retain a warm flame. As such, I, Love Shiny Dublin, the last descendant of the Taran Dracos, I shall light this fire symbolizing new life. May it guide the way for all, whether living or departed. Enclosed, you will find templates of nomadic city immigration forms. Signed, the Kingdom of Tara. This is treason. The King of Tara has long been one of the titles of the Victorian Emperor. Nothing in this letter denies it. To avoid conflict, the Red Dragon has even indefinitely delayed the coronation so many are looking forward to. But in reality, the indecisive claimant, the corrupt oligarchs, the blockading army, and the flames of dissent. All these issues have been put to rest. For the first time in centuries, they proudly tell a new legend of a King Gale. In the short term, the unrest has indeed been contained within Wellington's domain. With time, however, it can become a greater threat than any insurrection. Tara must not be allowed to secede from Victoria. As long as Wellington doesn't take his entire territory away on a nomadic city, the other dukes and I will continue negotiating with him. Yes, ma'am. I will draft some long-term plans regarding that. It's finally over. Well done. Well done indeed. Thank you. So, what was it you wanted to say about Eblana before the ceremony? We never found her body. If she somehow survived, I worry that someday a completely different story will be told about the resurrection of the Red Dragon. I see, so her body was... No, wait, maybe I am understanding it wrong. Maybe they did... when after... It's true that they cut out the flames cut out the sound of the Nemo's response, but the story did describe that she dragged Eblana's body into the coffin. In that case, maybe what she means is that after the grand fire within the dragon statue, they didn't find her body, her incinerated body. Maybe, I don't know. There is a lot of unreliant. The story is told by an unreliant narrator, so we can't entirely be sure of what exactly transpired. I think both interpretations could be true. Either they didn't find her body after Love Shiny impaled her with her spear, or they didn't find her body within the dragon statue. Or the game could essentially just erase all my doubts and just give me the answer in the next sentence. Like this. Never mind. What story? That it was no miracle but the assassination of one dragon by another? Worse than that. I see. You're afraid that Eblana will return and paint the whole thing as a conspiracy I orchestrated. Our position is not unassailable. We both know that her body disappeared earlier that night, after you killed her the first time. There we go. The game erasing all my doubt. So the coffin was empty then? What I dragged throughout the streets wasn't her body, but an empty coffin. It was empty. There was no body to begin with. Sneaky woman. I know. I also know that it was I who used the last spark of fire she left in her spear to ignite the coffin. It was I who left the city to parley with Wellington, laying out our plans in exchange for him delaying military action while they played out. Oh. It was I who walked into the fire the people had returned to Eblana. I who quenched and replaced the fire of death with the fire of life. And I who walked out of the fire in the end. I have known all this since that day on the balcony of Nassau-Ursi Citadel. We have known this. Eblana had left us a puzzle with no solution. the only way out was a miracle. A miracle re-scripted and directed. If anything, the true miracle was the Wakeman returning to the city. If Lablana hadn't awakened the exiled king, if Bridget hadn't delivered that message centuries overdue, if Moron hadn't persuaded them, with just the two of us, that miracle could never have occurred. So, what is there to fear at this point? Iblana has cut off any path leading away from the throne. All I can do is devote the rest of my days to Tara. Oof. And patiently await my judgment in some unknowable future. Bruh, what a bitch. Iblana is such a fucking bitch. Holy shit. Imagine being dragged to a job you don't want to work on for the rest of your life just because your sibling did not left you any other choice. Bro, she's such a fucking bitch. I don't know how. No, Lockshine does hate her sister to some extent, but at the same time still cares about her. She's such a fucking bitch. Holy shit. Nemos was dragon empty coffin. Loveshine was planning to resurrect the dragon the moment she first killed you. You're lying. I know. It was Wellington. He found a conscience and lifted the blockade on his own. You just won't give up, will you? The Iron Duke? With a conscience? Hilarious. You promised him that only good could come of your skinny. And I promised him on the gastro. All I promised him on the gastro was that I could change the direction of Tara, so long as Loveshiny was willing to return. The red dragon who breathed flames of death, the spectral force of its dead soldiers, doubling with its blood-stained hands. Everything was fated to sink into darkness, while the Tyrants united under the banner of the one and only Red Dragon. Of course, His Grace was unaware that everyone in Nasaursi was meant to die for the plan, but I knew. A city of doomed souls in exchange of Tara's lasting stability. Only good could come of it, no? A shame that the Duke isn't found of Loveshine. Things could have gone even more smoothly otherwise. Sophistry. You lied to Wellington. Your plan was anything but harmless, and the people of Nasaursi did live. To everyone's surprise. In exchange for their lives, Loveshiny reached for the scepter of power that she detested so much. She chose to write a saga, a novel, a miracle that should have been beneath her noble dignity. It was something only she could do, something that wouldn't have been possible even a few years ago. Would you have placed a miracle on the scales from the start? What if Loveshiny had failed? Then you wouldn't be sitting here enjoying your drink. I'm sure you have heard stories about what the Iron Duke does to whatever he considers an obstacle. Every story begins with an inspiration. Memories rush into the writer's mind like seawater at high tide. He struggles to break free, only to find himself powerless against the oncoming tide. Red Dragon, you knew from the beginning. You almost destroyed Nasaurisi. You made a mockery of Altara. Now, I must object to that. I simply fulfilled a promise. Is being true to one's words no longer a virtue? Even you yourself admitted that this was a happy ending. No, never. This isn't how the story ends. This isn't how my story's supposed to go. The rider sees a sliver of white. He falls to his knees and crawls along the ground, trying to collect the scattered sheets of paper that had flown loose. 1, 2, 3. He clutches them in his hands, along with his pen. No. What would you like to write? Let me help you. No. The rider's shoulders tremble hysterically. Panicked, he begins to back off until his back hits the rickety wall of the tavern. Grabbing his pen like a spear, he begins to stab at the paper. Muttering under his breath, he only manages to cover them with scattered ink blobs. Soon, even his muttering loses coherence. The commotion causes the drunken barkeep to come out from behind the counter and grab him by the collar. What you blabbling about? Realizing that he can no longer form words, the rider looks desperately towards the woman watching him with disinterest. He points at the woman's hands, then at his own mouth. Meaning was clear. You have lost your worth. Perhaps you hit your head from excitement, or had a minor stroke. Or perhaps it's because you just saw something you believed in so firmly for so long shatter to pieces. The very thing that inspired you to join Dublin, caused you to stay at the victory party, made you turn back to Nasaurisi halfway. But it's time to wake up. With a trembling hand, the rider tries to write on his own palm, but leaves only crooked, disjointed lines. You wrote a story for Tower, a complete story, not a collection of fragments. It's a good one. I like it. And I like it even more now that it belongs only to me, not you. Longofoil singer. No. Writer. Slongofoil. The last Dublin year. I look forward to the stories you will tell me when death reunites us. With one last glance at the rider, the woman tosses a few coins onto the table and walks out of the tavern. A memory comes back to the rider. It was the same look Eblana gave him that night, a year and a half ago, when he decided to delay his report after the leader's shadow had already departed. In hopes, staying in both sides' good graces. I see. And here we are. What should I call you then? Whatever you're thinking, I'm only Necros here. She really just named herself that ass. Necro being dead and ass mean ass. Dead ass. Unless you, too, find a signed sheet of paper to hold no power whatsoever. Operator Necras. If you find the title necessary, erudite. For my part, I am more curious about your lack of reaction upon hearing the whole story. I read the report on NASA Odyssey. Ah, lapse on my part, I see. First a private letter from NASA Odyssey, then fragments through official channels. Loveshine is getting better at this. Then I presume she told you all about me, which is why you're willing to sit down with me by yourself and hear out this patchwork tale of allusions and insinuations. No, she has yet to find your body. She is unaware you are in a position to tell stories. That makes your courage all the more admirable. And I mustn't neglect to give credit to Loveshiny where it's due. She's more than just a qualified dance partner now. She's ready to take the lead. I do hope she enjoys herself. Sounds like you like your new powers. And also your new toy. Of course I do. The powers of the dead aren't necessarily greater than those of the living. But they are more lasting and harder to check. But you will soon grow bored of them. Like everything else you have ever had. Followers, martyrs, dominion, status. Life is short, but death is long, erudite. There are still so many interesting people in the mortal realm. That alone is reason enough for me to await them in death. So you gave Reeds your old toys? A cutting question, erudite, but I will allow it. And not only because your accusation is astute, if prejudiced, but also because you are one of the interesting people I mentioned. What are you intending? What makes me interesting? I am inseparable from death. It is not the natural order of things that those like me should be drawn to Rhodes Island. I was drawn, so I came. This place is always covered in the scent of death. After all, especially around you, my dear erudite. I don't understand. You will, someday. When the tides erupt and the nights of death descend, you will be grateful for my presence. So long as I do not mock your predicament. As for right now, I am simply the shadow of Tara's leader. Just Necras, nothing more. She's such a bitch. Oh man, and with that, the story ends. It was a good story, with a lot of twists and turns and unreliable narrators. Oh man. Such an awesome story, dude. Like, so glad I read it. Which one is supposed to be the next story, I wonder? Hold on, let me see Let me see if the official Twitter page has made an announcement for Arknights. Ah man, this is such a cool story, dude. Oh my god. I am a little regretful that I pulled Necras now. She's such a fucking bitch, man. Oh my god. Let me see, this is... Ah yes, I think. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is any announcement for a story event to be coming soon. But the next story should probably be about be related to Rhode Island. Because according to the CN schedule, Monster is the next operator. Oh man, what a cool story. I still need to do the stage properly, finish the stage properly, and to do the challenge stage. I hope I am able to do it later tonight. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for the rerun to be able to collect the medals. Speaking of which... yikes. Alright, that's everything. No streams tomorrow, and maybe a stream on Friday, I'm not really sure. I will try to see, but I try to see if I can do anything, but don't have your hopes high, okay? Alright. Then on Saturday, the next game I'm going to be reading the story of, it's going to be GFL 1. And once I'm done with GFL 1, I'm going to move to WUA. And if there's still some time remaining, I go back to Reverse Collapse. I think that's going to be the plan I'm going with right now. Alright. Finally, time to end the stream. Almost 5 PM too. Maybe I will have a few sometime before to eat something, maybe even take a bath. No, I think I have to wait for the bath later. Today is the day where I need to wash my hair. Just 1 hour before my meeting with my professor. Good. Awesome. Okay. I need to stop stalling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.